If you enjoy getting a behind the scenes look into people's businesses and their lives, then stay tuned. I'm going to be sharing all the things I got up to between July and September or quarter 3 of 2023. Let's dive in. Hi there, welcome to the Wholehearted Business Show. I'm Laura. I help health, life and spiritual coaches get more clients so they can generate more income and live their most aligned life. And today on the show, I'm sharing a behind the scenes dive into what I've been getting up to in business and in life between July and September of this year, 2023. I love sharing these behind the scenes look at what I've been getting up to and just some of the thought processes and lessons learned and all of that kind of stuff, and also just sharing a bit of what my life looks like as someone who runs a business like this and who's a mother and all of that kind of stuff. And hopefully you guys find this helpful and interesting as well. I always find it really cathartic to share all of this, so I hope that you enjoy it and find it interesting in some way, shape or form as well. So to go back to July, which for some reason feels like a million years ago now, I don't know why. I'm recording this in like the first week of October, but July here in the UK, our school summer holidays start about halfway through July. So it was kind of like a busy month, just finishing the school term, then starting the summer holidays, having the kids home with me more often, working less. It was just a really nice, not a lot going on business wise, just one of those months where I just, in all honesty, probably did like the bare minimum. And I found that was definitely reflected in my income that month. It wasn't anything spectacular. I'll talk about this a bit more, but this quarter's income hasn't been at the same level as the previous 2 quarters, and I think that probably is down to the fact that I do not show up as much in my business in this quarter as I do in other ones, but that's a whole conversation we're going to have in a sec. So July was just very standard. I was just doing my thing, my usual thing, and basically starting to work less. I think probably what this tells me a little bit is that maybe I need more mechanisms in place to generate income that's more evergreen or passive even. I don't quite know, but it might also just be that that's fine and that's part of my natural income pattern, but I'm sharing it because these are the thoughts that I've been having and this is what we think about as business owners. So July was just a really nice kind of chill month. Obviously, lots of stuff going on in my life with my kids and things like that. So my income for July was £2,561. I think that's roughly about $3,100 at the time of recording in terms of conversion and stuff. So lower than what I've been having other months at, but still all good and well. Those ups and downs in business are fairly normal. Like I say, I'm going to talk about this more in a second. So that was July. And then August is always just quite a full-on month personally. It's my birthday, it's my little boy's birthday, we go on holiday, and we did all of that in August, and it's full summer holidays, time. So I'm working a lot less. I was working about 2 days a week over the summer holidays, and that's usually what I do. I've kind of got that really well set up now. I find that's a really good balance for me to still feel connected to the business. I did think at one point that I wanted to take August off, but that's not something that in reality I think would actually feel good. So it's kind of a nice balance that I've got, but I was working about 2 days a week and I had a full week off when we went on holiday. We went down to visit family who live in Brighton, so we had a really lovely holiday. I spent lots of time with my little boy. My daughter still went to nursery a couple of days a week. Obviously spent lots of time with both of them, but it was nice. We had days where it was just me and my son when my daughter was in nursery, because I feel like he needs a bit of that one-to-one time, given that he's got a little sister who takes up a lot of time when he's still around. So that was really lovely. And business-wise, what I did do was I did kind of a quiet launch, I think I called it, of not quite a new offer. So I have Content Marketing for Coaches Club, which is my ongoing membership where I support coaches to develop a content marketing strategy that is primarily non-social media based. So I have that as a membership. I did have 2 levels of that membership. So I had a $9 a month level where you get access to lots of resources, a private podcast feed. And then there's a higher level, or there was a higher level, where I would give people access to live calls, to Voxer office hours, to extra time with me, and an extra access to full courses as well. So my full content related courses. And it just didn't quite fit right, I think. And I wanted the higher level membership to have more focus and also to be open and closed. So Content Marketing for Coaches Club is open all the time. You can come and join us right now. It's a great little membership for like $9 a month, and you get lots of really, really great stuff for that. Like the content kits that I send out every month are amazing. I get really, really great feedback on that. So if you want to develop your content marketing strategy that's non-social media based, then Content Marketing Club is amazing for that. But for this other level, I wanted it to have more focus, and I decided that a really good focus for that is on creating a show like this, a multi-platform content show. So you kind of shifted the focus slightly, and I wanted to launch that before I shut it, and then put some evergreen kind of systems in place around it, which I still haven't done, but that's a thing that's on the list. So I wanted to do like a little mini launch of it, just to see if anyone wanted to join us before I kind of shut that level of the membership, and then rejigged it and made it even better before I relaunch it. So I did a little mini launch, and that was actually way more successful than I thought it would be. I thought I might get a couple of people in there here and there, but I got like 10 people join. The membership at $47 a month, and that was just fantastic. So I was really, really happy with that number of people joining. It just really brought some fresh energy in, and that was just like a little kind of mini thing that I did in the middle of August, and that was really simple and straightforward to do. So I did that, and that was awesome. And that was the main thing that I did. Otherwise, it was just doing my usual stuff, like the Wholehearted Business show kept going out. I was showing up for my clients and for my group programs and things like that. So it was all just very standard stuff, but it was great. I really enjoyed August, had a fantastic, summer holidays with my kids, and just, I really feel like I nailed the balance that I wanted to have in that period. This year, I just felt like it was just a really great balance. So my income for August, I'm going to have to look down at my notes, was £4,350, and that's roughly $5,275 in income, which was wonderful. I was really happy with that level of income in August. And then going into September, so obviously September is like a big month. Everything kind of like switches back on. Although this is how it feels to me. This might not be everyone's experience of it, but this is what it feels like to me. It feels like, everyone's kind of like getting revved back up, like it's back to school, like things get busy again, like it just kind of like this shift in pace. And I mean, I love September. Like it's just one of my favorite times of year. I really love the whole energy going into autumn in the Northern Hemisphere. I think I've been talking about this everywhere, like how much I just love this season. So September's always really great, and I'm always excited and like raring to go when I get into September. So I started off September by promoting an offer that I have called Get It Done. And it's a very unique package in its own right. And it's where I work with people over a smaller period of time. And I also include some actual, like, I will do this for you hours in that package, so that we're really moving the needle and helping someone work on quite a specific thing. So I offered that package. I've sold 2 spots. There's still 1 spot left. If anyone is interested, I'll put the links below. But it's a fantastic package for really focusing on getting something done before the end of the year. So that was really good fun, and I talked about that for a couple of weeks in early September. And then I offered my Sustainable Visibility event. So I knew I wanted to do something for free that would help people and would just kind of like inject a bit of visibility into my own business, and just inject a bit of energy. And I also wanted something on the back of to talk about Wholehearted Business, which is my 6-month group program. So in the kind of industry, if you like, people might call this a conversion event, where it deepens that connection. There's all sorts of different kind of conversion events you can run. But I really wanted to go into this just thinking, what can I support people with? What can I help people with? What might people be struggling with? And then let's tag on Wholehearted Business on the end, because it's a great program. And I think the visibility thing really just kind of dropped into my head. And this is the thing about business, like not everything has to be this really strategic decision. And sometimes like I will just go with my gut feeling, and that was just a gut feeling. So I ran Sustainable Visibility, and it was, like I say, it was a free week of training. And each day I sent out and emailed out a new video, and the audio version of that went onto a private podcast feed. And then I was going live on Instagram each day. So it was something a bit different. It wasn't like the live element was showing up on Instagram Live, and I was sending out all these videos every day. And it's the first time I've done an event like this where the number of people signing up for it increased over the week. So I think we started at about 100 people who had signed up to join in, and then by the end of the week it was like 120 or 130. I think I need to check the numbers in ConvertKit. So people were joining as it was going on, which I think is a real testament to the way that I was running it So I think doing the lives on Instagram and then having the replays saved as reels really gave my visibility on Instagram a little bit of a boost. You know, I don't do a lot of social media. I do Instagram, and that just seemed to kind of work quite well. And I think people were seeing that and then signing up for and getting access to, you know, everything that had come out that week up until that point. So it worked really, really well from that point of view. I got some great feedback from that. And it was just nice to just put something out into the world. And I say this often to people, like, yes, we want clients. Yes, we want sales. Yes, we want our business to work. But when you put stuff out into the world with the energy of not wanting something back and actually just putting it out there and being like, I just want this to help people, I've got no attachment to a particular outcome from this, then there's something really magical about that, I think. So that was kind of how I approached it, and it just felt really good and really, really great fun to do that. And then on the back of it, I've been talking about Wholehearted Business. So Wholehearted Business is my 6-month group program. It's designed to help coaches get more clients and create a sustainable, repeatable, fun, you know, not wanting to pull your hair out and be totally overwhelmed marketing system that helps you get more clients on repeat. That's basically what Wholehearted Business is. It's 6 months. You're in a group, but you get lots of time with me. And your time kind of starts in the group. Everyone's at a different stage in the program, but you get lots of access to me and lots of resources to help you through these kind of 6 key milestones that we have in the Wholehearted Business Roadmap. So it's a fantastic program. I've been welcoming some new people into that in September and going into October. So that's been really, really good fun. It's been awesome. And that's been September. It's been, like I said, it's been a busy one. It's been full on. September was a really good month. What wasn't reflected was actually in the income numbers. So again, interestingly, I always kind of think that September is going to be this huge income month, but I feel like it often isn't. When I've looked back at my cash flow spreadsheets, it's often not this like really big income month. Usually it ends up being knocked into the months after that. And I think it might just be the pattern in my business, and it might be a pattern that I need to look at how I can break it, but it just hasn't worked out that way, and that's okay. So my income in September was £3,545, and that's roughly $4,300. So again, like, I'm really happy with all those numbers, but less than it was for quarter 1 and quarter 2. And again, I think it is just down to a lot of different factors, but it's interesting, and I always share my numbers really transparently. Just to say as well, you know, sometimes these numbers can be really triggering. You know, you might be listening to those numbers thinking, well, that's really good, or you might be listening and thinking, well, that's shit. In all honesty, I'm not asked either way, because it's not, these are my numbers. And I think the more that we talk about this kind of stuff, especially as women, I think it's really important. It just demystifies things, and I like being really transparent and honest about what it looks like to run a business. And like I say, my income has gone down a little bit in this quarter, but what I'm asking myself as a business owner is, okay, so what could have impacted that? Was it the offers that I was putting out? Was it the way that I was showing up? Is it just the way that income's come in and that people have paid more on payment plans than they have paid in full lately? Like, what is it that's kind of like going on to impact those figures? And that's a really interesting thing just for me to ask myself and to go into more detail with. And it might just literally be one of those things. But we'll be watching this space for next quarter. I've talked about how my goal this year is to average out 5k, and that's in Great British pounds, over the year, so that I hit 60k this year. That's my goal. I've got a bit of a hill to climb to get to the end of the year, but I am going to be giving it my best shot. We'll see how we get on. I'm also trying to practice like detachment and not getting too attached to that figure, because in all honesty, it's a nice figure to hit for me. And like I say, you know, you might be thinking, well, that's not very much, or you might be thinking that's a lot. It's a number that means something to me. So there we have it, and that's where I am in my business. Another thing that I did in September was I had a photo shoot. So that was really, really good fun. I've spoken about this before on the show. I want to refresh my website, and I was definitely ready for some new photos. I actually had my last photo shoot done in 2020, so not that long ago, like 3 years ago. But let me tell you guys, when I feel like a completely different woman to who I was in 2020, would be an understatement. I feel like a completely different person. So when I look back at the photos that I've got on my website now, it doesn't feel like me. It's really, really strange. My up level game has been strong over these last, like particularly this year. So it really felt like the right time, and it was just so much fun having the photo shoot. I'm really, really happy with the images that I've gotten, and hopefully I'll be sharing those as well as like a bit of a brand refresh very, very soon. So like I said, in terms of lessons that I've learned over this quarter, I think there's definitely some stuff for me to dig into a little bit around income numbers and just what's been going on in terms of sales and just unpick that. And like I said, there might be nothing there to unpick. It might just be that's just kind of the way it's been, or it might be that there's something there that I can tweak, but it is what it is. And like I say, things are already, even at the start of October, like better than they were in September, so I can feel that shift already happening. So it's a really interesting thing to dig into, I think, for me, like I say, around those numbers. And then other kind of lessons learned, I just think, I'm really happy that I found a fantastic balance between work and life over the summer. Like I just found that I just really hit the right level. Nothing felt stressful. I didn't feel like I was, doing one thing and felt like I should be doing another thing. Like it just felt like I found the right level for that. So I'm really, really pleased that that was the case and that I managed to make that happen. And then another thing that came up, I think it was around really enjoying doing this sustainable visibility event. It's probably something that I'm going to try and do a bit more often. Like I used to do something like this maybe twice a year, and I think I've dropped off that a little bit, but it's something that I'd like to do again. It gives me like a rush of energy, and it just feels like a kind of, it's a fun thing to do in business anyway. And then I always include a little bit of a chat about what's been going on with my life and kind of health and stuff as well at the end of these behind the scenes posts. So I've talked over the last kind of few posts of these about my kind of journey with my own health and well-being, and that's just continuing really, really well. There's been like a massive shift in terms of just where I'm at, and I could talk about this all day long, to be honest, but the bottom line is I'm just in a really great place. I have found a great balance for myself. I'm working with a fantastic coach who's kind of supporting me around plans for the gym. I feel really strong in my body. I just feel like I'm in this fantastic place right now, and I'm celebrating that as much as I can and really practicing gratitude for where I'm at. Again, like if anyone's interested in me talking any more about this, let me know. I could say a lot of stuff around what I've had to do around unpicking like diet culture stuff, like how I've approached this when I've got a history of an eating disorder, there's a lot of messy stuff. Like this has not been a linear, straightforward, easy process. Not internally, there's been a lot of stuff going on, a lot of messy thoughts, a lot of processing, a lot of all of that kind of stuff. So but I'm here where I am. I'm really happy. I feel great. I probably feel the best I've ever felt. I'm 41, but I probably feel the best I've ever felt in my life. So I'm really happy about that. So that's been amazing on the health and well-being side of things. Another thing that I've been doing that kind of started and really embedded in this particular quarter is cold water swimming, sea dipping. So I started that going into June, and then it's just continued over the summer. So it's something that I, made as much time as I could for over the summer. And just getting in the sea, getting in the cold water, having that connection with nature is something that I have just adored. I've absolutely loved it. I fell out of the habit a little bit in September. I think there's a time factor for me, and that it's about a half an hour journey to get to the coast from where I am. And obviously it is colder now. So I think I am ready to find a group that I can dip with. I've always just done solo dips, or I've been with my little boy. But I think I'm ready to find a group that I can join that is easy enough to get to, so I can make it more of a regular habit, because I really feel that benefits my well-being as well. And then it feels like there's been a lot of personal family shifts lately. So we've kind of changed some of our routine up at home. So Freya was going to nursery. So Freya's my little girl. She was going to nursery kind of 3 days a week, and then with my parents a day a week, and then I would have her on a Friday. And that's been working out really, really well for a while. But when she's in nursery for full days, which is how that works out, it just feels like every morning's like a real rush to get them out. Finley was having to go to breakfast club just to kind of make it all make sense, and it was just all a bit of a rush. So I decided to shift her hours. So now she goes 9 till 3, 4 days a week, and then has a day with my parents. And that just means that we have like much slower mornings. If I do go to the gym in the morning, I go really early, which suits me. And then I get back, and then we have like a nice slow breakfast. I feel like I can feed them better because I'm not rushing around. We have a bit more of a connected morning, a bit of a slower morning. And then I walk them into school and nursery, which is really lovely. And then I do the pickup at 3 o'clock. My work days are much shorter, but I just find that I do have the extra Friday. However, I'm trying to use that for more for me. And I'm going to the gym on a Friday. I'm doing grocery shopping, doing some errands, just having a slow kind of day for myself. And that has really, really been benefiting me. And again, a lot of this comes down for me is one of the reasons I started my business, my coaching business in the first place, was that I wanted to have control over what my life looked like. And it's a constant process of looking at what we've got going on as a family, including my husband, and really looking at what we've got going on and thinking like, okay, so how can we make this more joyful, more slow? How can we be more present? Like all of these wonderful things. And it just feels really, really good that we get to do that. So that's something that we've shifted. My little girl's also in a room on her own now. So we've co-slept with both our kids for lots and lots of years. And one of either me or my partner were going in and into her room and sleeping in her room with her. But she's very much been at the stage for quite a while actually where she was ready for her own bed and ready for a different routine. So she's now in her bed on her own, doing really well. It's quite happy doing that. And that's been a nice kind of shift at home as well in terms of just another like little milestone, with your kids. It's like these little milestones that kind of happen as they get older, and that's just been quite a big shift at home, I think, and has made quite a big difference to how things feel. So yeah, it's all been really good stuff, and yeah, it's all just in a really, really lovely place right now. And again, I just try and practice gratitude for everything that is going the way that it needs to go, going the way that I want it to go, that is showing up, the things that I've wanted to manifest and all that kind of stuff. I just try and be really grateful because, life is never a constant and something that will shift and change at some point. And that's okay, that's life. But I just try and be in that place of like, I'm really grateful for how everything is lining up right now and showing up for me right now. And yeah, all of that stuff. So that was a bit of a behind the scenes look at what I've had going on between July and September. I really hope that you guys are well, that everything has been going well for you. I'd love to hear what your few months have looked like. Let me know in the comments, pop me a DM on Instagram. I'd love to know. If you're watching on YouTube, please give me a like and do subscribe as well. It would be lovely if you want to keep up with more of my videos on how to run a coaching business. It was always hugely appreciated and really helpful. And like I say, please do let me know what's been going on for you. I really hope that you find these helpful and interesting, these behind the scenes posts. They feel slightly self-indulgent to talk about myself so much, but I always find it really interesting to listen to what other people have got going on in their lives as well. And, often there's quite a lot that I can take from listening to that. So I really hope that that's the case for you. So yes, I will see you guys next week. Like I say as well, when this goes out on Monday, the 9th of October, I'm still running a promotion on Wholehearted Business where if you join, you would get an additional 90-minute one-to-one call. So if you are interested, please do check that out. I'll put the links in the description. And also I am offering some free holistic coaching business audits. So if you want me to take a look at your business and give you some feedback, totally free, totally no obligation calls, check out that link as well. I'm going to have to limit them quite soon because people have been booking them all over the shop, which is amazing, but I'm going to have to limit them soon. So if you are interested in booking one of those, jump on it sooner rather than later. Anyway guys, take care. I will see you soon. Bye.